All right, welcome. Today, we're diving into something a little different. We're going to talk about a legacy, but probably not the kind you're thinking of. This isn't about giant statues or famous names. It's about something much quieter, much more human. It's a story from our source material that really makes you think about what it means to leave a mark on the world.
And really, this says it all, doesn't it? Some legacies are not built of stone, but of moments. That's the heart of what we're looking at today. It's all about how those tiny, everyday acts of care can add up to create something huge, something that lasts way longer than any building ever could. So, let's get into it.
So every story needs a main character, right? And ours starts with the architect of this incredible place. But, he wasn't building with bricks and mortar. His tools were, well, they were things like just being there and having this deep sense of purpose every single morning he walked through the gates. Just try to picture this for a second. It's that early morning light, that soft, golden kind of light, and it's hitting this small school gate. We're not talking about some massive, imposing campus here. This is a small place, a little world all its own, and the day is just waking up. And right at the heart of this little world is our guy, Mr. Sunil Khare. And I want you to look at how he's described here. It's not just headmaster. I mean, that's his job title, sure, but look at the other words, guide, the gentle presence. That tells you pretty much everything, doesn't it? It says so much about the kind of person he was. And his main tool, get this, a single piece of chalk. In our world, with all its tech and complicated systems, his power came from something so incredibly simple. That piece of chalk, it's really a symbol, isn't it? It stands for this very real, very hands-on, very personal way of leading and teaching.
So from that one simple tool, this whole vibrant community just bloomed. Now we're going to step inside the walls of the world he built and see what life was actually like there.
And look at this. This isn't just a checklist of things that happen at a school. Think of these as the vital signs, the heartbeat of the place. You've got laughter, you've got parents who trust the school, kids who are proud of themselves, teachers who are like family. All of this, every single bit, is a direct result of Mr. Khare's steady, quiet work day in and day out. This is what it looks like when his oasis is thriving.
So how did he pull it off? This quote right here is the secret sauce. He notices the quiet one. It sounds so simple, but think about it. In any busy school, it's always the loud kids or the super smart kids who get all the attention. But his superpower, it was seeing the kid who was trying to be invisible, the one in the corner. That right there is how you build a real community. You make sure everyone is seen.
Okay, but what about discipline? Because that's part of it too, right? Well, it was all about this delicate balance. Our source material makes it really clear that when he had to be strict, it always came from a place of caring. It was never a power trip. It was about guiding them. So you'd get a gentle scolding, but it was almost immediately followed by a kind pat, They were two parts of the same whole, showing he was just invested in them. And this whole vibe, this culture of care, it wasn't just for the students. It spread to the entire staff. He built a place where the teachers, people like Ms. June, Rupsi, Ms. Thapa, and Ms. Marbanying, they weren't just co-workers punching a clock. No, they felt like a family. And that kind of feeling is infectious. It had to have spilled out from the staff room into every single classroom.
But, as we all know, nothing stays the same forever. Time, well, it keeps moving. So this next part of the story marks a bit of a shift. It's about facing the fact that even a beautiful place like this can't stop the winds of change.
This timeline really paints a perfect picture of that rhythm, that cycle of life at the school. You've got the first day with all the new faces, and then graduation with all the goodbyes. The seasons change, the monsoon rains come and go. You have the noise, and then you have the silence of empty hallways. It's just this constant flow. And before you know it, the years have just gone. And then we get to this moment. It's much later. Mr. Khare is older now, and he comes back. He's standing at that same gate, the one he stood at every single morning. But everything's different. This time, he's on the outside looking in. The man who is the very heart of the school is now just a visitor.
And this leads to a really powerful question, doesn't it? The kids running past him, they have no idea who he is. They don't know that their whole school day, this world they live in, was shaped by this one man. So it makes you ask, what does a legacy even mean if no one remembers your name?
Well, this last section is where we find the answer, and it's an answer that kind of redefines the whole idea of a legacy. It's not about being recognized, it's about something else, something deeper and way more powerful.
So as he's standing there and nobody knows who he is, you might think he'd feel bitter or sad. But he doesn't. Instead, his head is just full of these echoes, the thousands of times he heard, "Good morning, sir." He's remembering all those faces, all that energy. Those memories belong to him, and they are incredibly real.
And this is the absolute core of it all. This quote says everything. Even if they forget my name, I still bless them. His love for those kids, for that school, it was never a transaction. He wasn't doing it so they'd remember him. It was just a gift, a blessing. And he's still giving it, even though he's not there. I mean, that really shows you who he was, deep down.
And so we end on this. For him, it was never just a school. It wasn't a career or a building project. It was his oasis, a special place that he nurtured because he loved it, and he loved seeing it flourish. It wasn't about getting credit. And that kind of leaves you with a big question to chew on, doesn't it? What are the oases that we're all trying to build in our own lives? And when all is said and done, what parts of them are actually going to last?